Our NPF 14 LMD webinar. We've got as our guests tech team, the project team from Unitec Teams, and
of the BBUS program was put into the new platform of presenting the lectures on iPad environment. So one of the papers was business statistics, and I was the course coordinator.
So I've got Wajira sitting next to me here. He's working on a project. He's only just joined the team actually early on this semester because we had a bit of a staffing change. We've got over here Maureen and Leanne, and they're working together in early childhood. They've been in the project right at the beginning. And we've also got Nikki, who's currently out of the office, but she's joined us with her own.
The Apple computers, as well as our IT guru, James Oldfield. So we were quite equipped with everything, and in my course, we provided all the students iBooks free of charge.
Cool, thanks James. Kia ora everybody. Kona ki toku ingoa, he hau no Ngāti Awa Ngaitirangi.
Saving of not purchasing textbooks for the four papers. So at the end of the first week, we found in 2014
8 programs throughout the first year of SIPAS. They come to us for their first semester and partake in what we call common courses, which there are 4 of. Human Development, Anatomy and Physiology.
Degree didn't buy iPads, and in that particular case, Department of Accounting and Finance came on board and helped them to provide loan equipment. So towards the second week of 2014 semester 1,
So we might just hear from Wajira for a bit now in his project looking at statistics.
Kia ora everyone. I'm Wajira from the Department of Accounting and Finance. I'm involved with the iBUS project. The Departments of Accounting and Finance and Marketing and Management have initiated the iBUS project in 2014 semester 1. And first lecture papers of the BBUS program was put into the new platform of presenting the lectures on iPad environment. So one of the papers was business statistics, and I was the course coordinator. The students were given fair amount of support from the departments by giving a lot of kind of one-on-one support to the students who are struggling with the new technology. At the same time, as the course coordinators and the lecturers, we were given support by the department by giving the Apple computers as well as clinic support through our IT guru, James Oldfield. So we were quite equipped with everything, and in my course, we provided all the students iBooks free of charge, and in return, they had to basically invest money on an iPad because they had a kind of a cost saving of not purchasing textbooks for the four papers. So at the end of the first week, we found in 2014-71, 90% of the students had either bought or brought the iPads into the classroom environment. Few students who had some financial difficulties, or few students who were in the verge of completing the degree, calculated at this point in time. So if the students had to do some calculations, don't need to physically have a calculator, they can basically click onto this widget and then open the calculator and do the calculations. We have created the Show Me equipment. So towards the second week of 2014 semester 1, all the students who came to the class had the iPad, and we as the lecturers, we set up a very clear instructions to the students. In my first iBook, asking them to use the iPad in the most efficient manner to study business statistics. So, in my first lecture, I highlighted to them how they could use the iPads in their learning. They experienced about the mobile device, and they were extremely happy, and they have commented very highly about our approach. And me being a lecturer, well, we had the ability to teach the subject matter. Every lecture, every iBook they get, the equitable ability to use all those resources. So I think we have been doing this particular project for now 3 consecutive semesters. Students are extremely happy, and we as lecturers, we are happy about the mobile device as well. Thank you.
Sorry, trying to get back to our call. All right, so maybe Nikki, while you're still in here, should we switch back?
Courses like dance statistics, which you could probably see a group.
So kia ora everybody, Nikki, Huri aho.
Full video clips explaining lots of statistical concepts in a very interesting and artistic manner. And
of health and social health and social sciences within Unitec, and I guess what we've got is an interesting terrain. Our institute is moving towards 3 learning and teaching models, one of which we've taken on board in terms of adopting blended. Yes, what comes with blended learning is an opportunity to look at how we engage in a face-to-face context, but also how to engage.
We have created the show me video clips. At the same time, we have encouraged the students to use
Moodle in terms of course content, resources.
Object widgets, note-taking widgets, and they are the students can write the equations, etc., on Sketchpad or Notepad. So in that particular way, we expect
and what we discovered in semester 1 and 4th iteration of implementation. In semester 1, 2014, it was a real smack in the face for the students in terms of coming into the blended learning environment, and I guess we've got some who come in with a certain level of knowledge.
They experienced about the mobile device, and they were extremely happy, and they have commented very highly about our approach. And me being a lecturer, well, we
sort of used the first week to introduce the students to some of these digital platforms that
ability to use all those resources. So I think we have been doing this particular project for now 3 consecutive semesters. Students are extremely happy, and we as lecturers
for the students. I guess what in doing so though, there are it's pretty content heavy in terms of how to utilize them. So we're in a space now.
Cool. All right, so maybe Nikki, while you're still in here, should we switch back to you?
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, what happened? My connection. Build a rapport with each. I guess one of the other key components of the common semester is group collaboration. So we're wanting students to actually, in that face-to-face environment in those first 2 weeks, be able to meet each other, talk to each other, talk to us, and build rapport with each other, which is essentially whakawhanaungatanga. So yeah, in terms of as an opportunity to look at in a face-to-face context, but also how to engage in an online context. What we've got is component to that. My project lies is in around encouraging more whakawhanaungatanga opportunities throughout their first couple of weeks of study, utilising mobile learning devices to be able to do that. So Dee, myself, and James have had quite a few conversations, and Josie, who's our Dean of Mātauranga Māori here at Unitec, have had a couple of conversations now in terms of how to free up the face-to-face component in their first 2 weeks. And we've discussed the use of Echo 360 as a digital platform that may be able to enable, and I guess I've got some who come in with a certain level of knowledge, and others who are students who don't necessarily come in with very much digital literacy skills. And so what happened in semester 1 2005 used the first week to tab, etc., etc. And I guess what Echo 360 allows us to do is to be able to provide the opportunity to overwhelmed. And then so moving into semester 2, we scaffolded the introduction of these digital platforms across 2 weeks, and apply, I guess, interactive activities in between them. Students are able to they're able to chat and ask questions in the forums as well. And I guess it's a standalone tool that they're able to pick up and use at any point. I guess the other real challenge that went into halfway through their second week, and they weren't able to attend transition week session in week 1 on two of the key components of the common semester is group collaboration. So we'll students to actually in that face-to-face environment in those first 2 weeks be able to meet each other, talk to each other, talk to us, and build rapport with each other, which is essentially whakawhanaungatanga. So yeah, in terms of benefits and challenges for us, the challenges we're very and we'll be utilising Echo 360 in the next wee while to create interactive tools to free up the opportunity for students to not be sitting in a lecture. If we consider, the new framework that we're discussing as part of this project, whakawhanaungatanga is a key core to figure out what it is themselves and build a report lies is in and around encouraging more whakawhanaungatanga opportunities first couple of weeks of study, utilising mobile learning devices to be able to do that. So Dee, myself, and James have had quite a Dean of Mātauranga Māori here at Unitec, have had a couple of conversations now in terms of how to free up our opportunity to engage face component in their first 2 weeks. And we've discussed the 360 as a digital platform may be able to enable that. So instead of us, I guess in our first couple of weeks, we stand up and we say, this is Moodle, this is what you need to use it for, this is what it's echoed up on the screen. We take them through, places that they may need to know, so their assessments tab, their student information tab, etc., etc., and able to provide the opportunity to engage in a more interactive way. So we're wanting to create online resources using this digital platform, be able to apply, I guess, interactive activities in between them. The students are able to they're able to chat and ask questions in the forums as well. And I guess it's a standalone tool that they're able to pick up and use at any point. I guess the other real challenge that we had was associated with those who were late enrollments. So if we had someone enroll into halfway through, able to attend the transition week session in week 1 on Turnitin or on how to utilise Blackboard Collaborate, then it was really hard for those students to catch up on that material, and it does actually set for how in which we go learning and teaching throughout the semester. So we've got key things that we're wanting the students to know. Blackboard Collaborate, My Portfolio, probably 2 of the ones, and we'll be utilising Echo 360 in the next wee while to create interactive online tools to free up the opportunity for students to not be sitting in a lecture theatre listening to us talk about what portfolio is, but rather interact in group and be able to figure out what it is themselves and build a rapport with their course facilitators and each other at the same time. I guess what also runs parallel to this is our new prototype spaces in semester 2, which does cater to the ability to and the students be able to work off of interactive digital platforms, and improve our opportunity to engage. And then I guess we'll offer throughout those weeks offer opportunity for whanaungatanga to occur in other ways as well. So we're thinking about embedding, and on their first day they'll have a pōwhiri. On the second day they'll come in and take them through this Eco 360 interactive session. Then maybe on the Wednesday or something we'll be able to have them and start to figure out where some of the services are, and then come back and do some other interactive activities with us in the prototype space. So yeah, I guess for us it's about whakawhanaungatanga, how we go about creating the opportunities in those first 2 weeks, because those are the weeks that are key for the students in terms of retaining them throughout the semester and keeping their interest.
Sorry, no, that was awesome. I think that really sort of explains it well. I mean, should we move on to Maureen and Leanne now, and we can hear about what's happening in early childhood?
So our context is an early childhood teacher education program. It's a 3-year degree, and again in July. And we decided that we were going to start introducing a number of changes. As part of this research, our students, one of their assessments to actually provide a portfolio of evidence of their teaching practice, meeting learning outcomes and graduating teacher standards. So one of the things we did was look at e-portfolios, which we'll talk about shortly. Our students on campus, face-to-face. The rest of the work they do, they have 2 days of self-directed learning and 2 days a week where they're in a work experience centre, working either as a volunteer or in paid employment as a student teacher in a centre. So we actually do need to find ways to connect with our students during the week when they're not actually on campus, but also we wanted to find ways that students could actually connect with each other as well as us in a less formal way. And so we also introduced a Facebook group. Ian's going to talk more about.
Yeah. So our courses are based quite a lot on whanaungatanga and kaupapa Māori pedagogy. We have a learning outcome in all of our courses, which is around the students' capability of using Te Reo Māori me Ona tikanga. And we base our courses on the principles of Te Noho Tāhitanga. So we really do have that. So we have that face-to-face relationship, and we build those relationships in the classroom. And as Maureen said, we want to use using the mobile devices. So we have sort of 3 little parts of our project. One is looking at the increased use of BYOD in the classroom, and supporting our learners who are going to be teachers of 21st century assessments. The students have to film or have to create a personal teaching philosophy. So we looked this time at, rather than them having a written philosophy, maybe videoing their philosophy. Students also have to have their mihi, develop and create their mihi. So they, rather than them having that written down in a portfolio, we're looking at how we can video that and put that into the portfolio. So each of our projects kind of link or feed into each other. So we've kind of got this triangulation between our projects. So that's our BYOD in the classroom. And then we looked at building a community of practice via Facebook. Most of our learners are on Facebook anyway, so it's a familiar. We looked at, because we've got the 6 cohorts and then we've got our graduates. So we've actually got like about 100 students already signed up on there. And initially they were just kind of dipping in and having a look, and now we've got really great collaborative conversations. It really does support that kind of, learners are teachers and vice versa, where they're supporting each other. Now they're asking questions about assessments. There's a real community of learners happening there. And then the third one is our e-portfolios, which...
Yeah. So we started at the beginning of 2014. Basically, we received our devices from James, which we enjoyed very much. And what we decided to do was actually spend some time in that first semester getting used to our devices, thinking about just basically messing around, which was kind of one of the key titles of our research, so that we could have a play. And we were often texting or messaging each other, seeing what the possibilities were with these mobile devices. I invited students across all 3 years, all 6 cohorts, to start using their choices of students who said yes, that they would like to do that. But it just gave us a chance to start really thinking about what the possibilities would be. And the second semester last year, we made it compulsory for the mid-year students to use the e-portfolio, because they were also doing one of the courses in the shared semester program that Nikki was just talking about. That program uses Mahara's ePort that up as the default, although students could also use platforms like Blogger, WordPress, etc. if they wanted to. And next week they'll be submitting their portfolio, so that will be kind of the test really scaffolding for Tama approach, where we've actually been looking at step by step, introducing ideas to the students about what they can do. So we haven't flooded them with information right up front. It's been very much about, okay, so this is looking at putting up into your portfolio. Next month, here's something else that you can do. And we've run lots of informal sessions at the end of classes for the day or in our lunch breaks that have actually guided students in small groups, and then they've also been going on and teaching each other. Successful in terms, we have a little bit more information than they do.
It's also about to go out on their final first year practicum, which is a 4-week placement, so we don't see them for that 4 weeks. And this is the first time that we've made e-portfolios compulsory on practicum as well. In the past it's been optional. So because we've scaffolded them all year with their work experience portfolio, practicum as well, and I had the briefing yesterday and they all seemed pretty confident, able to sort of show them a couple of, so we're feeling really confident that our three little sort of interventions are kind of feeding into each other but really, working for the benefits of the students. The other thing we really looked at is our building capability. We can do this between us and our course, but we really need the other lecturers to be on board. If students are submitting an e-portfolio to a lecturer that doesn't even have an e-portfolio or can't even open an e-portfolio, then the students aren't going to get the support as well as looking at staff capability and how we can support our staff, other lecturers to, be confident and capable of using these technologies.
So changes at Unitec this year have meant that e-portfolio workshop, which has helped just those few stragglers in the team that perhaps hadn't already done a workshop. But sharing of information along the way, the scaffolding we do for students has also been shared with the team. So they've also seen the expectations, sending out a questionnaire or survey to our team as well as the students who just finished their first year to see how it actually did impact on them. We've got anecdotal stories, but we actually facts from the students and from the team about how it would go, what else could we have done. And we've really learned a lot with the current students that started in February. We've been able to make some changes, seen a whiteboard where they could actually be incorporating information quite easily using the mobile device that they have. Very hugely. That's one of our challenges. We don't have all the students like in the business program, for instance, on iPads. So we've got a huge range of devices.
That was great. So I think that's 3 projects. We probably did talk a bit longer than we'd hoped. We've got so much to say. I think there's so much going on. So I imagine a number of people have to go, but they're all happy to answer questions if anyone has some.
Great, thanks James and team. Yeah, so let's just throw it open for a couple of minutes for questions. And of course, if people have got questions and they don't want to ask them right now, on the Google Plus community as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd just like to say well done to everyone at Unitec. You guys' projects sound really, really exciting, and I've been working a little bit with Nikki, but also to hear the progress with, is it Maureen? And all of the embedded with is really, really inspiring. So well done to the whole team for leading such a great group of practitioners.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll look forward to hearing a little bit more about your projects in the symposium, 10th of July. Of course, if you've got anything that you want to post in the Google Plus before then, that would be great as well. So any examples, maybe that outline, the little bit of presentation you had there at the start with Jira. If you wanted to share that in Google Plus, that'd be great as well. So thank you very much, team. That's awesome, and also modelling mobility as well. Nikki being out, and Vic all wandering around. So thanks again, and we'll finish the broadcast there, and it'll be archived in the community for anyone else who wants to. So.